Hello, everyone. Bonjour. Salut. Bienvenue, Nuit de Marielle. Welcome to Montreal by Night. Tonight's scene begins in the presence of one Natalia Belenko, who is, as of right now, in the presence, well, quite close to her comrade at arms, her packmate in Giles Clark. Things have gotten rather interesting, given what happened in the underground city. And there was also something which Natalia took from the ashed corpse of the plague bearer, the source of the HIV infection amongst the kine. And that's where we shall start the scene. Wherever it is that Natalia and Giles might just happen to be at this time.
Natalia's just been in the bathroom, just getting some stuff ready. Just been in there some time, but she's come out. She's done her hair up. She's in the normal, usual mohawk that she does sometimes have her hair in. So, Jazz, you're coming with me? We're going to the Templar to report the good news. I don't know. Do we take your car or mine?
Giles simply shrugs.
All right, we take my car. Go, come on. She kind of pokes it, and we'll just head out of the apartment and get down to the car.
This man only looks less amused as you poke him more. It's like it's scaling down towards negative amusement.
And Natalia will begin to out and begin the process of, once they arrive, of descending into the Black Cathedral.
You went a little bit robo there, but I kind of got the message.
Okay, I will see if this is better.
Okay. We fast forward to the scene into the Black Cathedral of Montreal. And just as Natalia and Giles enter into the cathedral proper, they see a pack, an entire pack. They're conducting, two of them they obviously recognize as being, one of them they recognize as being Jean Daniel. And the other is this rather tall-looking gentleman. They have swords, cruciform-style swords, and it looks like they're undergoing this. It looks like some sort of ritual war dance of some description. Like something that you'd probably expect. Like you'd expect from some sort of dance routine or some sort of military exercise, as it were. It's rather elaborate, but it seems to be coupled with one of the other pack mates who seems to be playing this. What's the instrument called? It's not quite a flute. It's kind of like something that.
Recorder?
No. It's the one that's somewhere kind of between. It's something you kind of find in a lot of Balkan cultures. My brain is completely fried, so I apologize. I can't think of the exact name. But yeah,
there's the piccolo, the oboe. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I think it is the piccolo. Yeah. You have this one of the other packmate of one of these other Canaanites, as it were, playing on this piccolo. The exactness of the dance is. It takes roughly 2 or 3 minutes, for Jean Daniel and the rather tall gentleman that he is with to actually finish it. But once they do finish it, there's a small round of applause from his, you presume, his packmates before he notices the two of you. And Giles, you'd hear him speaking in French to these other people. You can tell by his tone that they are quite familiar to him. And essentially, all he says is that I've got to deal with something. You guys go up top, and I'll meet you there. And which the rest of the group then kind of like bows and nods, and they get up and head off as Jean Daniel sheaths his cruciform sword and approaches the two of you.
Good evening. I hope we're not interrupting anything.
Just ignobles right, eh?
All right. Good news that the plague asshat, Malkavian, he's dead. So he's gone. Problem solved.
Were you familiar with the terms of the game of instinct? Were you clear about them?
Natalia suddenly looks very, very, very nervous. I think so. We were to hunt him down, kill him, and report back once we've done it, right?
Proof was required that the deed was done.
And she looks a little nervous again and says, yeah, about that. He was, she looks around. She doesn't seem to be too nervous about him now. She just looks around and finds a piece of cloth that is wrapped around something and just, he was wearing this. And she will just carefully go over to him and open up the cloth, and he will see the ring.
And just for the sake of clarity for Mr. Giles Clark, because he kind of was absent from that part in the scene.
I'm totally helpful, guys.
Yes, you're totally helpful. If I can actually find the fucking thing again, but then again, I'll give a brief description. It's a ring. Long story short. Here we go. Here's a actual picture. The ring kind of looks similar to this. It looks like some sort of imitation silver, steel, stainless steel perhaps, with this ruby inside it. It's very clear inside. You can see the inverted ankh of the sabbat. Jean Daniel, his eyes kind of like head out. They focus on the ring as soon as Natalia presents it to him. Can I just?
Please.
It looks like Jean Daniel reaches down and picks up the ring, twirls it around in his hand so he can actually see the ring itself. Starts examining it on various points. I just need to make a few rolls here. Okay, and then one more. Okay. You see Jean Daniel, start to hold the ring in both his fingers, and he twirls it around, examines it, starts caressing over the jewel itself. Holman. That was the guy's name. Holman.
Okay. We found by his voice, we identified him on a piece of video, but it also helped us identify him when he showed himself. But he's gone now.
I don't think this ring is really worth all that much. Looks like something someone must have bought and then modified. Kind of a cheap piece of jewelry, if I do say so.
Well,
I'm guessing it must have had some sentimental value to them.
or he was trying to masquerade as one of us.
No. I'm guessing that they might have been Sabbat, but they were also Malkavian. I sense this great sense of loss and the sense of, well, I'd say it was a very conflicted sense of emotions. I don't think we'll ever find out why they did what they did. Then again, John Daniel takes the ring and puts it back into the cloth. Then again, by this point, it's all academic.
Is that proof enough?
Yes, but I would like for a full report from your entire pack, including ones from your Doctus and your Priest.
Right. She just looks at it and just, should we put concerned, or was this just one Malkavian who was just, well, Malkavian?
Well, that depends. Did you find any other evidence to suggest that there may be more?
No, not really.
Well, then I don't think you have anything to worry about then.
He did note having an evil twin at some point.
How do you mean?
He was talking cryptically over the speaker system in the underground shopping center.
Yeah, but that was about the city, right?
Hmm.
That was when we were going to the evil twin or something. Like he knew certain things about Sabbat which made me an edge at first, but like they knew that we were going somewhere.
So he's a Markavian. It's his job to know.
That's true.
Yes, it's possible he has a blood brother / sister of some sort in a nearby area, but they are not friends. Most likely Camarilla, if it's the evil twin. Could, however, be an Autarchus or an Anarch.
It matters little at this point. Fact is, thanks to your efforts, the rack is now safe. Or at least the source of the infection has been permanently cauterized. There's no doubt going to be some time before the rack is completely safe, but I think perhaps in time you can help. Either yourself or others, or the entirety of the sword can systematically help cleanse the rack of any of these lingering infections.
Well, he did try his very best to affect the homeless to go down into the underground cities, so I'm guessing that a lot of the infected are currently living under the ground. It's a large area, but it's more concise than the entire city. So,
yeah, the infected are largely localized.
So if we were to move on that, I suppose it has to be done sooner rather than later, but depends on how we're going to deal with that.
At this point, it's largely a secondary option or secondary priority. Keep in mind the Archbishop is still moving ahead with the timetable for the crusade into Quebec. And all of you are required to amass whatever resources that you have, stockpile weapons, and when the time is ready, we shall restart the infiltration again. We've still not heard anything back from the initial teams, but I think it's a fair assessment at this point that it's very likely that they've been either caught or killed.
Oh well.
Oh well.
I mean, we have a lot of work to do, and she just says, "Well, and well, I'll get back to the priest and doctors to have them compile a report for you as soon as possible."
Thank you, sister.
Yeah, no problem.
Just out of curiosity, in your own view, do you feel that there was some? This was a learning experience?
Quite so.
And if so, what lessons did you learn?
When you have the opportunity to travel with your pack, do so. Very, very rarely is it a good idea to go alone anywhere. Should always be ready to think outside the box, even when you're hunting someone like this. And, well, she stands there for a moment, looks to the distance, and just says, "It doesn't necessarily matter why people do what they do. What matters is that your job gets done. Instead of trying to figure out some crazy guy's actions and why he does it, just focus on stopping him."
Focus on the mission, focus on the objective. That sounds like the words that I would expect out of a. Sounds like something I would say. You might end up being a very respectable member of the Sword of Cain, Sister Belenko.
Well, I intend to do my very best.
You did that. And what about you, Mr. Clark?
Similar to Natalia, what matters is not what the opposition believes their purpose to be, but to have clarity within oneself. I invested myself in that investigation to do a job, and I hope I saw it through to its optimal conclusion. Similarly to how I intend to see this crusade.
Good. Well, as soon as the whole report has been issued, I think we can say that this issue has been brought to a permanent close. As I said, you're free to go about your business in the city, but please keep in mind that we are on a timetable. So any indulgences, any preparations that you need to do for the crusade into Quebec, please start now.
All right. Have a very good evening and all that. And Natalia just nods and just looks at Giles, see if he's got anything to add, and it just begins to make her way out.
No, Giles, whatever his name is. The meme never dies. We'll say, good evening to the good Sir Templar. And we'll exit with Belenko.
Jean Daniel returns the, we'd hazard to say bow, before he lets you go about your business, and he himself goes up to meet the rest of his pack.
As Natalia begins to walk out, and Giles follows her, and she says, "So, do you fancy going past the widows to give them the good news? I haven't visited them since I first got here."
Sure, I believe we can do this. Do you want to do it right now, or perhaps later?
For the moment, I don't have any plans. And she just looks at her smartphone. She's, yeah, there's more than plenty of time if they're around, of course. And
I'm sure
just
they can make time for you.
out of character, does the ST have time?
Totally.
Then the two of them will drive, well, closer to St. Catherine Street and see if they can find the widows.
And just to expedite the scene on a little bit longer, and so I'm not repeating myself with the introductions to the club as often as I usually do. Your entrance into the club is, as expedient as possible. It seems as if Jean-Claude, the bouncer, has a virtually photographic memory. He recognizes both you and Brother Clark almost immediately and ushers you in. He doesn't even direct you to the front, to the bar. He actually directs you straight to the stairway and the door leading into the chamber of the widows. And Creamy Jade and Black Lotus are there, looking as divine, and I use that term quite loosely, as ever, as they are sat on their respective sides of the couch. They offer you the seats set before you, even a little bit of vitae in a glass flute.
Natalia will partake.
Welcome, children. Welcome once again to our humble abode. How might we be of service to you this evening? And yes, Giles, you do realize that both of them are looking at you when they say this.
Of course.
Of course.
They love me. I'm great. That's what Clark thinks. He's amazing. There is nothing wrong with this situation ever, and it never will be. We came to deliver some good news. I think I'd be pleased to know that. Thanks to your assistance in the matter, the HIV situation has been cleared up. The perpetrator has been removed from the situation.
Well, I mean, there's still some people around who are probably infected, but the asshole who was doing it, he's gone. So there's that.
Got the rest localized.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, that is truly marvelous news. We thank the two of you, and we thank your pack for the assistance that you've provided us. In fact, I would say that all of Montreal offers you thanks for your humble servitude in the name of our dark father Cain.
Thank you.
It's just that thanks a lot. It's good to. It's very fortunate for at least for us all, but also for me to be able to assist in this way so relatively shortly after I've arrived. But
It is fortuitous and perhaps telling of your commitment to the sect, to our cause. Circumstances like this don't come about very often, we find. And it's very telling of the passions that someone possesses for them to jump at the opportunity when presented with a task such as this. I would ask the two of you, why in your deepest of hearts, why from an emotional standpoint, did you undertake this?
well, for my piece, the thought of him, well, spreading this, potentially screwing over more than just one or two kindred, but maybe all of us. It's really pisses me off to think that some crazy whack job could work around and just do this. I mean, he had to, someone had to show him a bit of karma or whatever you call it. I don't know. Because fuck him, essentially.
You wanted to make him suffer.
Yeah, he deserved it. Well, as much as anyone, I suppose. Anyone who poses the sort of Cain, well, they deserve it.
I'm sure he did. Well,
Just the thought of, well, you have to really be careful about what you feed. I mean, it's annoying,
and what about you, Mr. Clark? What emotional attachment did you find in this endeavor?
Natalia puts a finger out, just slowly pokes Giles in the side. Poke, 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 poke. And Chris, yes, you are muted if you are trying to speak.
Yes, you silly, silly man.
I think he's probably taking a phone call or something.
Yeah.
So he'll be back soon. Natalia just looks at the two and just says, you did say something about knowledge. Not so well, but the first time I met you.
Yes. Undoubtedly, you know of our reputation, Sister Belenko. You know of our position in the Church of Cain. And you know the wisdom that we have to offer, that we freely offer our brothers and sisters in Cain. Wisdom is sought by those who hear it. So true is the truth that we bring.
Mm.
No doubt you'll find, if not now, then in nights to come, you will have questions. Questions about your own existence. Questions about the problems, the dilemmas that we all face in our nightly existence. What constitutes as being true to our nature? What is the purpose of our existence? Why do we continue to exist far beyond our mortal lifespans? What's the purpose of vampirism? These questions and more we can answer. Your packmate, Brother Samuel, and us have had several very truly wonderful conversations. We would hope that you too would have those same conversations with us.
Hmm.
And the same would be said for you, Mr. Clark. Though, indulge us. What emotional attachment did you have for participating in this hunt of this deviant, this plague bearer?
There's a moment of thought where Clark's eyes drift away slightly towards the ground as he navel gazes for a few seconds. Loyalty to the sword. Everything else is secondary. That which poses a threat to it must be handled one way or another. The cause that our sect brings is the primary factor within my own life. That which would pose as an obstacle to it, be it significant or not, must be removed from the situation. This plague bearer served to distract us from our true purpose here.
That's very cold fish of you, Mr. Clark. But a reasonable answer. Well then. Yeah, true. Well then, now that that unpleasant business has been resolved, has Sir Jean Daniel given you any further standing orders?
Prepare to smash some cans, but that's about it.
You just say it again, man. You kind of went robo there for a sec.
She said, prepare to smash some camis. That's pretty much it.
So, stand down and wait for further instructions. Typical night. No worries. You will all have a chance to be part of the first wave and indulge in every insignificant whim, every sordid whim. Excuse me. So for now, well, as always, our club is open to those who serve under the banner of our Dark Father Cain.
I'm curious, and she looks around. Some of those rooms are had some equipment in them. I'm curious, is that for like members only, or
Well, we do have our own little special VIP club, purely for the kind, however.
okay? I
Though
see.
it's considered that all Canaanites belonging to the Sabbat are VIPs in and of themselves, but they're part of a very exclusive branch of that club. Why,
All
was
right.
there one particular room that took your fancy?
Well, nah, well, it's piqued my interest. Well, I suppose it depends what kind of who from the kind come around here, but nah, it's not important.
Miss Belenko, you're in the presence of two hierophants on the Albigen sign path. Nothing you can present to us will shock us.
They can, without taking a perception empathy roll, uh,
I mean,
probably guess
this
that
somewhat amuses girls.
it's not necessarily them that she's worrying about offending, and it's not Giles. They can make of that what they will, but she doesn't seem worried to shock them.
Mhm. Creamy Jade just simply smiles. I'll send word downstairs once you leave that any and all doors are open to you. The same goes for you, Mr. Clark. Who knows, perhaps we might be able to stir something resembling passion in you. And we have all eternity to be patient.
Kind of you'll just hear a like a like Natalia just smiles, looks at Giles, shakes her head very very lightly, and just right. Okay. I suppose we must go going. Unless there's something else, Giles, of course.
So you get to jump ship. But no, I don't believe there's any immediate matters to discuss further. I appreciate you having us in your presence once again, my ladies.
Trust me, Mr. Clark. The pleasure is all ours.
He believes that.
No, he doesn't.
They're either having pleasure torturing him, or his total lack of fuckery is torturing them. He's not entirely sure which it is yet. Maybe both.
Natalia will just get up and just come on, Giles, let's go.
Giles seems pleased his name was spoken of correctly, and get up to leave.
As they're heading out, Natalia will just look at him, just say, "So, have you been you laying some extra work in there, or you just interested in it?"
You have an interest in me. I'm not entirely sure what it is yet. He believes he knows, so I'm going to roll manipulation subterfuge because he thinks he has an idea.
I'm going to roll against that, to be honest, because getting Giles, Chris under pressure is fun.
I'll admit there is a certain... What's the German word for it?
Schadenfreude?
That's the one. There is a certain that word about storytelling sometimes.
Yeah.
Well,
Natalia just
that's all.
looks at him and just says, well, I mean, honestly, I thought maybe it's your whole, she just puts her hand up against you and just, your whole, I'm like Stoneface and I'm not interested at all. Maybe it's that, you know. Sometimes girls like a challenge, so maybe it's that. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know what kind of freaky thing they're into, but if they ever break you, it's going to be. One day you should probably have a. Well, she looks at it. Suppose you can't record it in video, really, but you know.
Freaky Star, I would not necessarily say that to their face. They are the paragons of the path of Kafari.
Yeah, so they want to bring it out in you, I suppose. I guess. And honestly, it also looks. I mean, you're my pet mate and all that, but it does actually look like you've been holding in for quite some time, to be honest.
Giles kind of gives a look as if he's like saying, holding in what? Like what? Like he
I mean,
doesn't really understand the
you're
question.
quite stuffy. You know, you're quite. You know, you never let your hair down. You never. I mean, you're very orderly, and you know, your suit is always nice and all that. It's yeah, just saying. For a topsider, like, I mean, like your kind of person, normally I would fucking hate, but you're all right. You know, I mean, you opened your house to us, and you're help to the pack, and you know, a fellow member. But well, you know, normally guys like you, it's a little bug me, you know.
That's just understandable. He looks slightly amused when you like talk about fucking hating him and people like him as he like is like, oh no, yeah, no, I totally get it. But
Did again. That is understandable. It's a little, you know, quite what should we say, measured or you know, resigned somehow.
I won't pretend as if I know you particularly well, but you're Officer Bat and you've shown loyalty and you've joined my pack, therefore you are my friend. And all among the Sabbat deserve my compassion and loyalty. It's... I understand that those of my ilk tend to be negatively received because we fit a certain narrative. This is because it happens often.
Nah, it's not. Well,
To me,
honestly, it has nothing to do with your plan. And nothing to do. Well, it's mostly that I think you've been born with a silver spoon in your mouth. But
that's what I was
that's it.
referring to, not
Okay, okay.
not my clan.
And such people tend to really piss me off. So you know.
Those who become dependent on that spoon are weak and are not worth my time. They have no understanding of the ways of the world or how to master it. They're effectively slaves. Just ones that wear a fancy suit and eat good food. It does
Well,
not change their value.
until revolutions happen, they control the world that far. Yeah, but you really think that it's happened a few times? You don't think it will happen again at some point? Sure, you can control a lot of things, but once people get enough, they can become desperate enough, revolutions happen. And then, well, control is quite another thing.
That is the risk of taking an open leadership position. It makes you a target. Some people are up for the challenge, others are not. Most are not.
Well said. I knew I liked you. She just like kind of smiles and nods. It just seems a little thoughtful, and just says, "All right, all right, all right. Let's get home." And you can see, like, as you're walking out, you're standing there, and then she's walking out again. She does look at some of those rooms a bit more. She just she seems somewhat interested. She just, but at last she will just go out to the car and just, all right, get in.
Yes. We should get back. I have no doubt our dear practice is making a mess of my bathroom again.
It wasn't that bad. I practically live in that place, and well, I do actually make less of a mess than when he's in bed. But oh well,
Yes, yes. This is true, and it is why I am concerned.
it's just water. You'll be fine.
The sacrifices I make for the Sabbat.
It's totally fine. I mean, and by the way, your bathtub is actually a very good size. To be honest, it's very comfortable.
One day I will. But I'll let it rest.
It's not really that hard to figure out, to be honest. And why would I sleep there? I wonder.
A bed is more comfortable.
Nah, not really. I do use a bit of pillows and a blanket, but you don't see the reason.
No, you effectively trap yourself in a small room that's not easy to get out of.
That's true. I
He seems to be
suppose.
viewing this very coldly and pragmatically, if it wasn't obvious enough.
Well, if the building is first set on fire, I honestly do not think it is really any room that is better to be in than any other. But that's just me. You'll
Depends on the
probably
fire.
wake before the flame. Well, you won't wake until the flames have engulfed the whole building. But oh well, that's just my thought.
Well, whatever suits your purposes, if I can provide.
Oh, you have. And, I mean, it's a very nice picture here. And as the conversation between these two packmates continue, they begin to drive towards Giles's home, and effectively the pack's home at this point. And with that, we will have this scene come to a close. Thank you very much, players, for playing, and watchers for watching. Um, praise
Yes.
Cain, praise Cain.